Pickups have definitely come a long way. From rugged workhorses, they can now practically be family vehicles as well. But there's one pickup that always stuck to its blue-collar roots. It's this, the Isuzu D-Max. And there's a new engine under the hood. Replacing that old 2.5-liter engine is a 1.9-liter mill they call RZ4E. Now, it's a smaller engine, but does it mean less performance? Let's take it out for a spin. Now, you wouldn't know it has a new engine under the hood just by looking at it. At the front, you won't even see the difference between this and the 3-liter models. You get the same brash chrome grille and these new headlights that kink upwards to merge into the grille. You even get fog lights in this base model, which is a good thing, considering this is the lowest end of the bunch. It's practically carried over from the 3-liter version, and that's, I say, is a good thing. Now, I apologize for the dirt on this pickup. It's been raining pretty hard these past couple of days. Now, back to the pickup. The only marker you have that this is the RZ4E powered D-Max are these rather dinky 16-inch alloy wheels, which only come in this model. Of course, the small wheels aside, I rather like the profile of the D-Max. It's very business-like at the front, and it means more business here at the back with that long bed. Also, the large windows are great for visibility. And the side mirrors, which are huge, are great for maneuvering in and out of tight spaces too. Now let's go check out the back, and to be honest, you really can't style the back end of a pickup truck. You still get these tall vertical taillights and this rather flat looking tailgate. You do get this steel bumper, which is good in case you back into the loading bay, but you won't because you have a backup sensor and a reverse camera. Of course, the main reason why you buy a pickup truck is this. The loading tray. Now, the bed isn't exactly the biggest in its class, but the wide opening and the low loading bay makes it easy to slide items in and out much easier. Also, you get these tie-down straps in case you have to haul loose items. Inside, it may be a base model, but Isuzu did make an effort to spruce up the cabin a little bit, particularly with the addition of some soft padded materials. You get one right up above the instrument cluster and one by the top glove box opening. Other than that, it's all hard plasting it here, although it is a pickup, so it is made for the rough stuff. And as much as possible, you'd want everything to be as solid and as durable as possible. If this is still too plush for you, there's also the LT model with vinyl seats and a vinyl floor. Really, the only luxury you'll get in that one are power windows. As for the interior, it's pretty much the same D-Max as from 2013, meaning you get these vertical air conditioning vents by the center console and these vertical air conditioning vents also in each corner. What is nice is the location of the cup holders, which are directly in front of the air conditioning vents. Because this is a base model, you don't get the automatic climate control. You do get these rotary knobs and dials, which easily fall into place. Also, you get USB ports, 2 in front and 1 at the back. We've checked out the front, but what about the accommodations here at the back? Well, don't be fooled by the amount of legroom you see here right now. I stand at 5'4", and this is in my driving position. If anyone taller than me sits in front of me, there's still a pretty decent amount of space, though it's normally right about here. For as long as the rear passengers aren't that tall, it's pretty decent here at the back. There's enough room for your legs and toe room as well. As for the seats themselves, it's rather upright, these backrests, because it's really limited by that bed at the back. You do get this courtesy armrest, more cup holders, and this extra USB port, bringing the USB port count to a total of 3. The good thing about the back seats of the D-Max is all 3 aboard here get 3-point seat belts, and there's even ISOFIX mountings if you have to carry a baby seat. And if you're wondering where the tools are, check this out. They're right under the seats. The Isuzu RZ4E engine may be smaller than the old 2.5 liter at 1.9 liters, but it makes heaps more power. It now makes 150 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, up from the old engine's 136 horsepower rating and 320 Newton meters of torque. It's mated then to a 6-speed automatic transmission with manual mode. Now, driving this RZ4E equipped D-Max around the city, you won't really feel the difference between this and the 3-liter version, mainly because you're not really traveling fast and most of the time you're idling anyway. That means there's a great benefit in fuel economy. Now, we've left this idling for quite some time and we're averaging about 16 kilometers per hour. And yet it still returns 10 kilometers per liter, at least according to the trip meter. Out on the highway, that's a much better figure. The RZ4E delivers decent performance. Not outstanding, decent. Now, do keep in mind that you have 150 horsepower on board, and it's a diesel, so you expect a big slug of torque from the lower part of the rev band. With this one, you kind of have to wait for it to spool before it really gives you that big chunk of torque. Of course, it does have a 6-speed automatic transmission with manual mode, so if you do get bored of waiting for the turbo to spool up, you could just downshift it yourself. If you do play with the manual mode of this pickup, that's where this turbo diesel engine sort of comes alive. You keep it between 2,000 to 3,000 RPM, it'll continuously bring that torque to you. Anything below that, you'll have to wait for the spool to charge up. Still, it's a pretty good powertrain, and it's heaps better than that old 2.5 liter diesel they had, which only had about 130, 140 horsepower. With 150 in this one, it can go toe-to-toe with entry-level 4x2 pickups. What's even more impressive is the fact that it's not even a 2-liter engine, it's a 1.9. So props to Isuzu for making the most out of this small engine. Traveling along the EAX and Skyway, we were seeing averages of up to 16 to 17 kilometers per liter. Now, it may not have cruise control, but it's easy to maintain speed out on the highway too. And passing, well, it's a simple prod of the foot. It's a little strained at the upper ranges of the rev band, but you won't really miss the 3-liter pull. It's actually adequate considering the weight of this vehicle. If anything, this base RZ4E engine doesn't feel like a basic engine at all. And actually, it's a bit techier than the 3-liter we've known for quite some time already. It's a very, very good replacement for the first batches of 2.5-liter diesels, which only made 136 or so horsepower. With 150 horsepower, it's pretty much toe-to-toe with other 2-wheel drive pickups out there. If there's any point of criticism for the engine, that would be refinement. Now, it's not exactly the quietest diesel mill out there. You probably hear it in the background a bit, at least when you're idling. But once you're on the go, it smoothens out. Although there's still a bit of diesel clatter when you're running at speed. Although it's much better than the old pickups, let's say from the 90s. Then again, the D-Max never proclaimed to be the smoothest riding pickup in the country today. And with that stiff ride at the back, you could probably assume that it can carry a heavy load when you're packing up stuff. Now, if you could live with that stiff ride, then yeah, perhaps the D-Max is a good pickup for you. And also with that legendary Isuzu durability and the reputation for reliability, this is actually a pretty good choice. And you don't have to get that big 3-liter engine anymore because, again, this 1.9 turbo diesel is actually not half bad. At 1,249,000 pesos, the RZ4E equipped Isuzu D-Max with the automatic transmission is smack dab in the middle of its competition. Now, what makes this stand out among the others? For starters, you have that all-new engine, and it's also pretty well equipped. You get reverse sensors and a reverse camera as standard to begin with. Also, it doesn't scrimp on safety. You get a pair of airbags and 3-point seat belts in the bench seat at the back. But it goes beyond that. Isuzu has a well-deserved reputation for durability and reliability, and if that's what you're looking for in a pickup, then look no further than this D-Max.